Hey, welcome to this week's episode of the What's New on the Net podcast. What's New is one of the oldest websites in existence today, and its mission, in case you didn't know, is to help people keep track of the micro developments that are happening in the web world. So, this podcast is a natural extension of that mission. That said, let's get on with this episode. As usual, I am your host Saurabh Gaswala in the studio, today being Sunday, October 24th, 2021. Here are this week's tech news stories. The biggest piece of news this week was the purported renaming of Facebook. If you didn't know that, you are obviously living under some rock. It all started when website The Verge broke the story. That report said the name change was in line with Facebook's rebranding exercise to make it more aligned with its metaverse project. The Verge report was then picked up by hundreds of other websites around the world. I will not go into what exactly is metaverse, but it is enough for you to know that the project is one where you may get to see a different kind of internet, where virtual shall mix with the real world. Anyway, the new name has almost been finalized, but the final call will be taken by the man himself, yes, Mark Z. In all probabilities, the name will be out this Monday. Is a podcast only audio? What about a video podcast? To me, adding video to a podcast almost means like you are live streaming. Or nearabouts. Or maybe it's like one of those videos you see on YouTube. But why am I raising these questions today? That's because this week, Spotify announced the arrival of video podcasting on its platform. Having successfully tested out video podcasts on Spotify with a variety of Spotify originals, the podcast platform said mid-week that it would be rolling out a lot more video podcasts. Spotify said on its blog that it now planned to open up access for video podcasts creators, and thus start a major expansion of video podcast catalog. This tool will be accessible through Anchor, Spotify's podcasting platform, and will offer a seamless way for creators to upload video content and publish to Spotify. As for me, well, I am still not convinced about video podcasts. What do you think? Tell you what, why don't you write in and tell me about it using the Contact Me link given in the podcast description.
Here is a shout out to founders, co-founders, CEOs, CTOs and C-suite guys of tech unicorns, businesses and startups around the world. Come share your business story on our weekly podcast. CEO Speak is a new slot we have introduced in which the top management of tech companies can tell the rest of their community of their success, their struggles, and so on. Plus, as a bonus, the same will also be published on our website whatsnewonthenet.com. Get your invite by writing into us at whatsnewonthenet.com, at gmail.com.
So all you head honchos of tech companies out there, what's stopping you? Don't miss this chance to talk to me on this podcast. That's some incentive, huh? Now back to the news. No podcast is complete without a mention of Google's many businesses. Google has decided to cut the service fees for more developers in the Play Store. As of now, in the first year of a recurring subscription, the company charges a 30% commission, which drops to 15% after that. From January 1st, 2022, Google's service fee will be lowered to 15% for all developers from day one. The company said it's making the change because developers say customer churn makes it challenging for subscription businesses to benefit from that reduced rate. Google is also making changes to the service fee in the Media Experience program to better accommodate differences in these categories. Ebooks and on-demand music streaming services, where content costs account for the majority of sales, will now be eligible for a service fee as low as 10%. Banned from some of the major social media networks, former President of the United States Donald Trump announced this week he was launching his own social media app. A press release issued to make the announcement said the Trump Media and the Technology Group and Digital World Acquisition Group had merged to form a new company chaired by the former president. The ex-president said in the press statement, and I quote, "I created Truth Social and TMTG to stand up to the tyranny of big tech. We live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president has been silenced. This is unacceptable." Unquote. Let's see how this one works out. That's it with the headlines. This week we featured a handful of new companies. One of them was this India-based startup, Super Beings. No, it's not about superhumans. Super Beings is a suite of tools that provides team leaders with the means, insights and learning facilities needed to continuously develop their teams. There are some startups out there that provide enterprises with a suite of tools. Super Beings, on the other hand, offers clients a compact, all-in-one solution to cover their team-building needs. And get this, the developers behind the startup believe that Super Beings is the most comprehensive people data framework ever built. And now, to our second startup of this week. Well-known digital workflow company ServiceNow has announced the ServiceNow messaging service to help organizations drive better service experiences from issue to resolution. Leveraging the Twilio platform, ServiceNow messaging service will help organizations to purchase SMS and WhatsApp directly from ServiceNow, making it easier to quickly integrate popular messaging platforms with ServiceNow workflows. This, said the company, will give organizations another channel to engage with customers and employees, regardless of their location, and help quickly solve customer requests for a more seamless end-to-end experience. ServiceNow messaging service will enable transparent, two-way conversations between businesses and customers. Customers can find answers, get help, and request services through popular messaging services. With this new service, businesses can also resolve issues fast, leveraging the power of the Now platform to unite the front, middle and back office with digital workflows, break down silos and automate processes across teams.
A word of caution. Listeners are strongly advised to do their due diligence before buying or downloading any of the startups featured here. Startup profiles are only for information purposes, and this podcast does not vouch for any of their features.
With that, it is a wrap. We are at the end of this week's podcast. How are we doing so far? Don't hesitate to write in with your comments in the link given in the description. This is your host Saurabh Gaswala wishing you goodbye for now. Until we meet next Sunday.